from Missladypetal. You might be wondering why I'm actually wearing sunglasses while I'm doing this video. Well, one of the things that I'm sharing with you this week is that I just got 2 new sets of sunglasses. And I know it's trivial, but I'm very cool about it because they're prescription sunglasses. And mine just broke a week ago, so I've been walking around squinting like this for a week and I'm completely over it. So, first set, second set. Sexy, huh? Red. Everybody looks good in red sunglasses, don't they? Though I don't know. I just think I do. In fact, if they'd had orange, I would have gone for orange and red as well. Even though I'm wearing blue and it completely clashes. You get that, hey? Complementary colours. Anyway, to get into my vlog for this week. So, big exciting news. I've joined the Thoughtful Media Group, a multi-channel network. It's the same network that both Claudia and Gina are in. And what does that mean for all of you, apart from me? You know, I get some great guidance and, you know, they put better ads on my channel and do all this cool stuff. What does it mean? It means that it's easier for us to collaborate on YouTube. I love that idea. It makes it easier for us to work as a group, whereas we talk about each other on our 3 channels, but now we can actually collaboratively work together more easily. And I love that idea. And that's one of the reasons why Gina and I wanted to go with the Thoughtful Media Group, because Claudia thinks that they are probably one of the best networks, multi-channel networks out there. And it's not like I haven't been approached by others, you know. I have been approached by others, but they weren't focused on anything to do with art. The closest I got was video logs. And that's only one aspect of what I do. And they were gaming, or they were, oh God, who knows, anything else except for the sort of thing. Whereas the Thoughtful Media Group, they have all sorts. I really like that. So they are gradually growing their, you know, like art journaling or growth network. And I like that. So as of today, I am now an affiliate and member of the Thoughtful Media Group. And that is really cool news. And hopefully they'll put better ads on my videos. Woohoo! And you won't always feel the need to click through them. Rather like the Frugal Crafter. She has movie trailers on hers. And not only just any movie trailer, ones I want to see. I bet she's making a mozza out of that. So I'm sitting there going, yay! Maybe something I actually want to watch. It has to be pretty good to grab my attention for more than 3 seconds though. So yes, I have closed my door on the puss today. I had so many comments that I was completely upstaged by a cat. Now, that shouldn't surprise anyone, a human being upstaged by a cat, because honestly, how many funny cat videos are on the internet right now? But I don't know about you, but, you know, I'm a little bit shallow and I get this whole sense of, oh my God, my cat's more popular than I am. Well, boot the cat out. There we go. Bang. Love her to death. Just not on my YouTube videos all the time. I mean, honestly, I could do a YouTube channel on the cat and it would probably do better than mine. FYI. Anyway, there's my good news, and I don't know, it's not mean, Peter. It's not really mean, Peter. You can see behind me, I've actually bound my letter journals up. Now that video should come out shortly, but I bound it up, and funny, Rosemary Morris, one of my mentors, just put photos up of her journal that she bound on the weekend, and bingo, without us even talking to each other, they look the same. Good on you, Rosemary. All I can say is great minds think alike, and you and I are on the same wavelength. All I'm saying is there is no sewing in that. No sewing. I think from go to woe, it took me like 40 minutes. One of the easiest binding projects you will do, because all the sewing's already been done for all of your letter journals. Woohoo for you. So I'm just going to pop that up there. There we go. And it's just sitting there at the moment because over the Christmas New Year period, I have got to clear out some shelves so that I can put more completed journals up instead of all my works in progress, because you can't see it because, you know, all the shelves are behind this camera, but I'm looking up there going, Peter, you need to do something about your storage space yet again. It's like the bane of my life. How do I organise my ever-increasing stash of whatever it is I'm working on, with, on, for, and leave it so that it's not all on my actual workspace? So yes, I will be ditching some of my smaller journals and putting some completed ones in there, because I don't know about you, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 working journals, like small working journals, the size of my speaker's notes journal, all sitting in the one shelf, really not being used. So I'll have to think about where to put those, because they're only small books, right? And they're not as deep as shelves, so maybe I'll put, you know, ones that I hardly use behind other ones. That might not work either, but, you know, I'll think about it. Who knows? I have to organise something. Because another thing I did, my goodness, Black Friday sales in the States. This is not my first year art journaling, but it is my first year being subscribed to Blitsy and having a bit of a love affair with Amazon. And because I just made peace with the fact that a lot of the time I can actually get it cheaper in the States and shipped to me for half the price of what I can buy it in Australia, which is so unnationalistic about promoting and supporting small business in Australia. But honestly, I don't want to pay more than double what everybody else in the world pays for stuff. And actually, no, not everybody in the world, just the US, because the UK often is very expensive over there, and a lot of countries like, I don't know, you know, some European countries, and they can't get it all. So they can't get all the products at all, and they're expensive. So it's just the US. So US, whenever I go and visit you, and I am thinking about visiting the US next year. But FYI, haven't booked flights yet, so don't hold your breath. All those US people out there that watch this channel that might think, yeah, I can see Peter. Still trying to figure out the logistics of it. There could be a teaching gig over there. How exciting is that? Could be a teaching gig in the States. I know I have teaching gigs here in Australia, and I'm hoping to expand that, but yeah, teaching gig in the States. I can say I'm an international teacher. Woohoo! Now I just need to find a sponsor. The other thing is I've applied for a design team. So in Australia there's a scrappy cuts, or scrappy crafts, or Scrubby Crafts, and I've applied for their design team. I think I might cut that out of the video until I can actually figure out what their name is. So we went to my brother's on the weekend, and that's fortunate because I had organised it, but now we're not going there for Christmas because, you know, like, here we go, me and Peter's coming out. Not really, but yes. No, yes. We're going to my husband's brother's for Christmas, and I haven't, like, seen him for 3 years, right? And that's okay, you know, because I let them determine, you know, how often we see each other, because that's easier. And suddenly, you know, he sends a text to my husband and goes, let's do Christmas. And my husband goes, yay, let's do Christmas. But it's my parents' turn for Christmas. I don't know how many of you have that. You know, I do 1 year with Jeremy's parents and 1 year with my parents still, unless we put our foot down and say, you come to us. And then, you know, they both kind of come to us, and it's a shambles. But anyway, we have completely changed all our Christmas plans this year. And so guess what? More presents. And like, I'd already planned all my Christmas presents, and now I've got to go buy more, and now I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So what did I do? I went shopping. And yeah, I didn't really end up buying anything for them. Black Friday sales. Amazon. Amazon, you're evil. How did you know I wanted Prismacolor pencils? Just saying. You always send me these random emails that don't have things that I like. And then on this one day, yeah, Black Friday, you send me this thing where I could get 72 Prismacolor pencils for $40. Like really? And they ship to Australia. Not only that, and they ship to Australia. That's already after I had just bought the whole complete set of Spectrum Noir oil pencils. You know, like they're the cheapest version of like a polychromos pencil, a la the Frugal Crafter. Love that woman's review. Awesome, awesome. And I had just bought the whole set because guess what? I got 120 pencils for like $65. And you're going, like, how many pencils do you need, Peter? And I'm like, yeah, I know. How many pencils do I need? Like, really? How many pencils does anybody need? Unless, of course, you're a pencil artist, which I'm not. I'm just a mixed media artist. But I like drawing. Like drawing, right? And this is after I had gone to that local art shed and bought myself a set of 36 Intense pencils for Christmas. And my husband has that tin and they're sitting there tempting me. Lucky they're not wrapped in plastic, you know, lucky they're wrapped in plastic because I can't trust myself not to use them before Christmas. And I keep saying to him, you need to hide them. I bought them. I came and delivered them to you. You now need to pretend that you sourced them, bought them, and were really thoughtful, and you're hiding them from me. Dagnammit, do it, man. Don't leave them out. Honestly. So I then have suddenly increased my pencil hoard by 240 pencils. 30 pencils? 230 pencils. I'm having a pencil Christmas, people. Like, people have been asking me, oh, what do we need for journaling Crazy Island Style 2015? And I'm like, oh, well, what have you got? And you have these long conversations with people about what they've got and what they may need. And I'm like, yeah, I need pencils. Yeah, not. But now, taking total my existing stash, and FYI, I didn't double buy because I have this reference book. The promo for this course is coming out shortly, as soon as I get it together. But I didn't double dip any of my pencils. That's why you need to do the reference book course. So in all that shopping, I already had my swatches done for what I already had. Now I have like 400 coming. By the time Christmas Day hits, I will have 400 pencils. And I will have them all swatched in this reference book. 400 pencils? Who has 400 pencils? Even Gina said to me, honestly, Peter, 400 pencils? Even I don't have 400 pencils. And that's saying something because Gina has like everything. So I'm like, wow, I've got something, like I've got more of something than Gina. Just one thing. Only one thing more than Gina. That's sad. Very sad. Enough on that lamenting, and I'm really hoping that my husband has not watched this video because then he'll know that I've just bought another 200 pencils more than what he thought. Oh no. I finally got my birthday present from my sister-in-law when I went up to visit my brother's family on the weekend. And those of you that follow me on Crazy Island Family would have seen the absolutely cute treasure box that I helped my 5-year-old niece paint. And I draw a little whimsy girl. That was her on the top. Really, really cute. Thank you, Lou, for sending her happy mail. We are very, very grateful. She loves those shiny little plastic tapes. They're not really washi tapes. They're like plastic tapes, although they don't stick. They stick about as well as washi tape, really. Yeah, really. And she absolutely adores them. I'm thinking you got them in a cheap Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese store somewhere in Sydney. Comment and tell me where you got them. Because I haven't seen anything like them, but they strike me as something that would be particularly in an Asian cheap shop, because I think some of them had Asian writing on them. Possibly. Anyway, back on track. My sister-in-law got me this book. Now, it's called The Greatest Gift, Unwrapping the Full Love Story of Christmas by Anne Voskamp. And I'm telling you, she's written another book of 1,000 gifts. And my sister-in-law actually had that book and she's loaned it to me. So this book here, if you ever feel disillusioned by Christmas like me, like I'm disillusioned, as much as materialistic and capitalistic as I've just been in the last week, and I'm making myself sick just thinking about it, just like the rest of you, it's like that little guilty pleasure. And, you know, I didn't kind of post it on KIF because I'm too guilty about it, but I'll just say it on, you know, YouTube. There you go. Anyway, it takes you through a reading every day. She has the most poetic prose though. She goes, and I'm just going to read a little bit to you because I just read it and I was like captivated about her writing style and the way she writes. She goes, it's your invitation to unwrap the gift. Big and glossy, loud and fast. That's how this bent up world turns. But God, when he comes, he shows up in this fetal ball. He who carved the edges of the cosmos curved himself into a fetal ball in the dark, tethered himself to the uterine wall of a virgin, and lets his cells divide, light splitting all white. He gave up the heavens that were not even large enough to contain him, and he lets himself be held in a hand. The mystery so large becomes the baby so small, and infinite God becomes infant. The giver becomes the gift. This quiet offering, this heart beating in the chest cavity of a held child. A thrumming heart beating hope, beating change, beating love, and beating the singular song you've been waiting for. That the whole dizzy planet's been spinning around waiting for. Waiting? Advent. It comes from the Latin. It means coming. And when you open the pages of Scripture to read of his coming, of this first Advent, before you ever read the birth of Jesus, you always have the genealogy of Jesus. And I'll leave it there. But I was completely captivated. And there's a little reading for every day. And my sister-in-law has given this to every member of her family this year because she was so touched by it. And she said by the time she got to Christmas Day last year, and she was just in tears about the beauty and appreciation of the family, the gift, the meaning of Christmas. And for me, who's like gotten really blah, what has the world done with Christmas? It is not retail therapy time. Like really, as much as I just lament on my gluttonous and greediness purchases of pencils. Oh God, pencils. I'm going to spend that much money on pencils. I always think to myself, it's over commercialized, and anything that drags my focus, like drags it, me kicking and screaming, and just really, really makes me stop and take a breath and think about it for a moment. I'm going to take the journey on this book. I've read yesterday's because, of course, in Australia it was only the 1st of December. Yesterday in the States, you know, whenever. So I'm reading these, a reading a day. And it says to make your Jessie tree. And so I'm kind of thinking to myself, I might paint one. So I'm not sure yet. I haven't painted one yet. You need to create a Jessie tree somehow. Whether you paint it, sew it, knit it, build one. I don't know. How do we do it? I might not even do it this year. I might just go on the written journey and see what it, see what it does. I don't know. A little bit introspective. But I've also started reading 1000 Gifts, and that is a harrowing story to start off with about it. But my sister-in-law Rosalie showed me her book that she's writing, and she told me on that weekend she had entered in 916 of the 1000 Gifts, as she was so thankful for Peter and her artistic talent and her ability to engage and teach and show her gifts with her family. And I just started crying because I had just said to her, you know what, Rosalie? You know, I don't know those of you who know the Bible, but there's this fabulous couple of women, and Mary and Martha. Now Mary, she was the one that sat at the foot of Jesus and just hung on every word and completely forgot about everything else that was going on in the house. Martha, the consummate hostess, she was the one that made sure everyone was fed, that everyone was comfortable, that the house was clean and tidy, that everything was served out right and at the right time and on schedule. And Martha complained to Jesus saying, you know, tell Mary to come and help me because, you know, I'm just slaving away here by myself. Peter's paraphrase. And he said, well, no, Mary's kind of got it right because she's sitting here looking at it and both of you are doing the right thing. Don't, you know, have a go at her. And I think he kind of twigged Martha to kind of appreciate that there are two different types of people. And I know for a really long time that I got into this, caught in this, I really think that I should be a better hostess, that I should glory in cleaning up, in having a tidy house, in being a fabulous cook that served people up on time, perfect food. And just was so geared to being a hostess. And I'm telling you now, I realised at the beginning of this year that I was just never going to be that. It didn't matter how much I tried, I was never that. I am so much a Mary. And not only am I a Mary, all my gifts are showy. Look at everything behind me. Everything is showy. So I'm out there. So I'm an out there Mary. So I'm not the one that just quietly sits in the congregation at church or in a crowd or anything and just whatever. I'll be the one that laughs the loudest. I'll be the one that sings loud and everybody hears you. And if you hit a bum note, oh my goodness, don't turn around because they'll be staring at you like this. And I'm the one that's singing on stage and doing the harmonies. And I'm the one that does paintings and artwork and cards and stuff, and it's all out there and everything's out there, and I'm always up the front because I'm not afraid to public speak, which is why I do these YouTube vlogs, right? So I'm just saying to you, for those of you that lament that your house is never tidy and that you're always arting, just don't despair. There are numerous different types of people around there, and I had to come to grips with that. And, you know, when I have friends who are Marthas, you know, the Marthas that come to my home, namely, you know, my parents and my mother-in-law and, oh, God, so many people in my life. Some of my really great friends, and they start washing up for me. I appreciate them. In fact, I appreciate them so much. It's an amazing, amazing thing because they just get in and do what I just really don't have the inclination to do. And I don't think of it as a lesser thing. I think of it as greater than what I do because I just can't do it, or I can do it, and it's so hard for me to do it. So I appreciate all the Marthas in my life. And I say to you, Marys, cultivate friendships with Marthas. It'll make your life so much easier. That's my thought for the week. Learn something new today. Keeps you young.